it is the driving platform that a company like Procter & Gamble believes drives its business more than Google and Meta. And at its current rate, it will overtake Google in search. Because what effective search and search dollars, because what people search for—
In my household, it already has.
Yeah, what people search for are products and services, and they really believe that Amazon is the search engine that takes you to the right place. And so more and more money is moving to them in a pretty big way, just like more and more money is moving to Meta, which doesn't define— not Meta, TikTok, ByteDance, which does not define itself as a social network. It defines itself as a next generation of entertainment. And basically, when you sort of think about it, it's people also basically believe, by the way, that shopping is entertainment, which is why a lot of people actually hang around Amazon clicking around. And so one of the key things that we have to sort of think about is what we grew up with is gone. And the reality— I wrote a piece during the when the first days of the Ukrainian war in my Substack, which I simply called the new narratives. And I said, what's the most influential thing driving perspectives on the Ukrainian war? And it wasn't the New York Times. It was none of the networks, right? The closest we came to media was Puck. Okay, that was the closest I could come, was basically because Julia Ioffe was the most quoted, most influential name during the early days of the Ukrainian war, and she writes for Puck, not anywhere else. But the pressure on companies came from the gentleman at Cornell University, who put together a list of all the companies that were in and out, which would then put up. Very quickly, it became clear that TikTok was where you needed to go. So Biden and team started talking to TikTok, right? And this is to your point, which is it's not just the market capitalization of these companies, but the reality of it is the conversation that takes place around the New York Times is the conversation we talk about. It's no longer the conversation most people talk about anywhere, right? So that's the big shift. And gaming, we haven't even begun. I mean, most of you all, if you haven't taken a look at it, read Matthew Ball's book on the metaverse, which is a very balanced and good one. We haven't even begun to see what's happening. And so I basically believe that all of what I like is how broadly you define media, which is number one. Number two, I completely agree with Bob that this is going to be about following the money, but unfortunately, many of the solutions don't get discovered. This is to Bob's point, because the day I heard about the long tail, I wrote a piece saying this is bullshit. What you're now going to see is the much bigger head. Anybody who understood technology knew that. It's complete bullshit. So I said, yes, there'll be a long tail and there'll be a bigger head, and everybody in the middle will disappear. And everybody in the middle was a non-technology company.